it's Tim. So I'm going to be explaining in this video how scoring works in Mahjong. So the basic rule is that you're going to be following what I like to call the flower and ceiling system. This is based on the flower tiles you'll find in your Mahjong set. So the first thing you're going to do is assign a base value to one flower, which is usually $1. So a ceiling would then be 50 times the value of a flower, which is $50. So a hand worth one ceiling would be equivalent to $50, and any regular hand is capped at this amount, which is why it's called a ceiling. Now, if a hand is worth two ceilings, then it would pay $100. Now, if you're playing this game with real money, you'd probably want to use a much smaller base value, like 5 cents or 10 cents, because you wouldn't want your hands to be $100 every time, or else you'd be losing your money too quickly. Now, the next step would be determining the value of your hand based on 3 factors: the number of flowers accumulated, the type of hand, and any special bonuses you acquired. So we're going to be discussing the first 2 in this video. So the first way to add to your score is by accumulating flowers. There are a number of ways to do this. The first way is at the start of the game, you may have a number of flowers already in your hand. So in this case, I have 2 flowers. I would place these 2 flowers in front of me when it's my turn and replace them with 2 tiles from the back of the wall. Now, this would give me 2 flowers. Now, another way to earn flowers is if you draw them while playing the game. So let's say it's my turn and I draw a tile. I get a flower tile, then I add it to my flowers and I replace it with a tile from the back of the wall. In this case, since I got another flower, I would add it to my flowers again and draw another tile. Now, the other way you can accumulate flowers is by creating sets of winds or dragons. Now, in this case, the Dong, or the east wind, if I have a set of 3 of them in my winning hand, they are worth 1 flower, and the same goes for all winds. Now, for the dragon tiles, any set of 3 would be worth 2 flowers. So one more way of acquiring flowers is through a Kong. So if someone else plays a tile and you create a set of 4, it's known as a Kong. This is worth 1 flower. However, if I were to acquire all 4 of the tiles on my own, then I would play what is called a self-Kong, and I would place one upside down to indicate that it is self-Kong, and this would be worth 2 flowers.
So let's talk about winning hands in Mahjong. A winning hand has 4 sets of 3 and a pair. The first type of hand is called garbage hand because it is the easiest to make. A garbage hand is any mix of multiple suits, winds, and dragons. The set can be any combination of sequential sets or matching sets. Winning with a garbage offers no multiplier to your points. The next type of hand is called one suit and honors. This is when you only have tiles from one of the suits and any combination of honor tiles, which are winds and dragons. This type of hand awards a ×4 multiplier to your score. The next type of hand is called all sets. This can be any variety of suited or honor tiles as long as all your tiles are matching set. This type of hand awards a ×4 multiplier to your score.
The next type of hand is known as all pairs. This type of hand is any mix of suited tiles and honor tiles as long as you have 7 pairs. Sometimes when you try to go for an all sets hand, you'll find yourself not being able to get any sets of 3, so you'll find yourself making a 7 pairs hand. This hand awards a ×4 multiplier to your score. The next type of hand is known as all one suit. This type of hand is when every tile in your winning hand is from a single suit. This is worth 1 ceiling. The next type of hand is known as all sets of 1 suit and honors. This is when every set in your hand is a matching set and you only have 1 suit and honors. This is worth 1 ceiling. The next type of hand is all sets of 1 suit. This is when not only are all your sets matching sets, but they also only come from 1 type of suit. This is worth 2 ceilings. The next type of hand is known as all honors. This can be any combination of winds and dragons, no matter what amount of every tile you have. This type of hand is worth 2 ceilings. The next type of hand is known as all sets of honors. This is when not only is your hand entirely made of honors, but they are all in matching sets as well. This type of hand is worth 4 ceilings. The final type of hand is a very special hand known as 13 unique wonders. To complete this hand, you need 1 of every type of wind, 1 of each of the 3 dragons, and a 1 in 9 tile from each suit. The 14th tile can be a pair of any of the previous 13 tiles. If you complete this hand, it is worth a whopping 4 ceilings. However, the difficulty of this hand is that you can only acquire them by drawing the tiles yourself, because you can only have one of each tile, so you cannot create any sets from your opponent's discarded tiles. To put everything all together, here's a sample calculation of a hand's value. So the base of any hand is worth 2 flowers, and in this case, the player has 3 additional flowers that they drew. So now their base amount is 5 flowers because they have no sets of winds or dragons to add to it. Now you just need to determine what multiplier to apply to this hand. Since they're a mix of only one suit of dots and winds, this would be a ×4 multiplier. So you would take the 5 flowers that they have and times it by 4, which means this hand is worth $20. Now I'm going to run through a more complicated calculation just to help you guys understand. So in this case, the player would have 2 base flowers plus 5 flowers that they drew, bringing them to 7 flowers. They also have 1 set of winds, which is worth 1 flower, and 1 set of dragons, which is worth 2 flowers. So in total, their hand is worth 10 flowers. However, you have to also look at what type of hand this is. So in this case, every type of set they have is a matching set. However, they have 2 different types of suits in bamboos and dots. So this would only be awarded a ×4 multiplier. So you would take the 10 flowers calculated and multiply it by 4, making the total hand value $40.